Hello and welcome to this video on forming Venn diagrams. Now before we get to Venn diagrams, let's define what a set is. Now a set is just a collection of values. That could be numbers, it could be letters, it could be any mathematical entity where the order of the values doesn't matter and there's no duplicates. So I could write a set using curly braces. I could have this set here of just say 2, 3, 5. That's a set, that's a collection of the numbers 2, 3 and 5, and we use these curly braces to indicate a set. And as per this definition, the order of the values doesn't matter, so that would be the same as the set of 3, 2, 5. But by convention, we always put the values in a set in numerically ascending order, or if it's letters, we put them in alphabetical order. And there's also no duplicates. So for example, if we had 2, 3, 3, 5, that is not a set. We're not allowed that. And interestingly, there's something in maths and computer science called a list. And the difference between a list and a set is that a list is allowed duplicates and the order of the items in a list does matter. So we can think of a set as, like I say, a piece of paper in which you write your shopping items on. You're not going to write the same item that you need to buy twice probably, and the items on that piece of paper, the order doesn't really matter. Now we can use something called a Venn diagram to represent a set and the interactions between different sets. So let's dive in with this first example here. We've got question 1, and we're going to draw a Venn diagram. I'll explain the various things on this Venn diagram. Now firstly we start with a rectangle, and that kind of represents all the possible items we're interested in. And there's actually a special symbol for it. It's the Greek letter xi, which is very hard to draw. But it basically represents all the numbers you're interested in. So in this case we're interested in the numbers 1 to 10. And then a set is represented as a circle. We could have a circle for the set capital A, and let's label it. And we could have a circle for the set B, so we have one for B. Now the reason we make the circles overlap is because it's possible there's things which appear both in set A and appear in set B. So this region here consists of all the values which are a member of A in the set A and a member of B in the set B. So we need to construct a Venn diagram. Now A is the set of all prime numbers and B is the set of all even numbers, and we've got to consider all of the numbers 1 to 10 because that set there, that special set, is all the numbers we're interested in. So let's consider each number from 1 to 10 one at a time. What about the number 1? Where does 1 appear? Well, is it a prime number? No, so it doesn't appear in the A circle. Is it an even number? No, it's not, so it doesn't appear in the B circle. It's not in the set B either. So it's therefore going to go outside. It's going to go in the rectangle because the rectangle has all the numbers we're interested in, but it's in neither circle. What about 2? Is 2 prime? Yes, so it's in the set A. Is 2 even? Yes, so it's in the set B. So in fact 2 is going to go in this overlap of sets A and B because it appears in both. What about 3? 3 is prime? Yes, but not even. So it's in A because it's prime, but it doesn't appear in the B circle because it's not even. What about 4? 4 is not prime, but it is even, so it appears in here. 5 is prime, but not even, so it appears here. 6 is even, but not prime, so it appears here. 7 is prime, but not even, so it appears here. 8 is even, but not prime, so it appears here. Now 9 is not prime, but it's not even either. So 9 is going to appear outside. And then finally 10 is even but not prime, so it's going to appear here. So we've now completed our Venn diagram. Let's do question 2. We can actually have the interaction of 3 different sets. So this is our special set xi, which consists of letters A to G. Remember that sets don't have to contain numbers, they contain letters or words or whatever. And we've got the 3 sets A, B and C. Now if you have 3 sets, the way you can do it is to have 3 overlapping circles like this. And make sure there's a region in the middle where all 3 sets overlap. So anything in this here will be values which are in the sets A, B and C. Whereas if we're in here, for example, then our value is in the B circle and it's in the C circle, but it's not in the A circle. So it's in sets B and C, but it wouldn't be in set A. So let's do it one letter at a time. The letter A, that appears in set A and it appears in set C, but not in B. So it's in the overlap of A and C, but it's not allowed to appear in B. Well, it would be here, wouldn't it? So A goes there. What about B? B is in set A, but it's not in set B and it's not in set C. So B is only in A, but not in the overlap of anything else. What about lowercase c? Lowercase c is in sets A, B and C. So it's in all three of them. So it appears in the middle, the overlap of all three. What about D? D is only in the set B. So D appears here. What about E? E appears in sets B and C. So the overlap of B and C, it's going to appear here. What about F is only in set B. And what about G? G only appears in set C, so it's going to appear here. And interestingly, there's nothing that's in none of A, B or C, so we have nothing in the box outside. So we constructed our Venn diagram. Now what about question 3? There are 100 students in a year group. 60 study French, 55 study Spanish, 20 study both. How many study French only and how many study neither language? So let's do our Venn diagram. Now, so we do a rectangle for the whole thing. You've got to put the rectangle to represent all the students of interest. We could put the xi here, but it's not necessary. So we know there's 100 students in total. So in this whole box, we've got 100 students. And we've got 2 languages here, so we're going to have the overlap of 2 sets. So I'm going to put F for French and S for Spanish. And by the way, we use capital letters for sets. So it says that 20 study both. I tend to start from the middle going outwards. Just as if you had the overlap of 3 sets, you'd start from the middle and then you kind of work outwards. So you have these kind of petals here and then you'd work out these and then you'd finally work out outside. So 20 study both, we can put 20 in the middle. And now this is a bit different because we're putting numbers in the region to actually say how many items are in this region. Whereas before, we're actually putting the values themselves in the region. So just be really careful. There's 2 different types of Venn diagram. In these 2 different types of Venn diagram, each number represented something in the set, an actual particular value. Whereas in 3, we don't have the actual specific values. We don't have the names of the students, but we can work out the number of things in each region. So we're working out the frequencies in this case. So we could call this a frequency Venn diagram. So let's finish it off. It says that 60 study French. Now those people who study French could be studying just French or they could be studying French with Spanish. So there's 60 people in total who study French. So the total of the numbers in this French circle is 60. Now we know that we got 20 here, so it must be 40 here, so that these 2 numbers add up to 60. So we've got 40 people who study French but not Spanish, and we've got 20 people who study French but also study Spanish. And in total, we have 60 people studying French. Now it also says 55 study Spanish, so the total in this circle is 55, and 55 minus 20 is 35. And then we've just got the number to work out outside. So how many people neither studies French nor Spanish? Well, we know that all of these numbers in the whole Venn diagram have to add up to 100 because there's 100 students. So if we add up these 3, we've got 40 plus 20 is 60 plus 35 is 95. So there must be 5 students left who study neither language. And now we can get the answers to these. So how many study French only? Well, these 40 people here study French but don't study Spanish, so they're not in this Spanish circle, whereas these 20 people are in the Spanish circle. So it's 40 people who only study French. And B, how many study neither? Well, we worked out that was 5 people.